Stu in Los Gatos, California. You disagree with our guest?
Oh, I disagree with him wholeheartedly.
Can you take off the speakerphone, Stu? It's hard to hear you.
Okay, how's that?
That's 1,000% better. So you disagree with his idea that equality and peace are high values?
No, I agree with those wholeheartedly. The problem I have is that people like him always are ready to condemn Israel first and not talk about what the Palestinians have to do. I mean, we can understand why you wouldn't want to try to negotiate.
Well, if you look at their websites, too, they're not...
Because they're a terrorist organization, and their sole purpose is to wipe Israel off the map.
Well, it's not their sole purpose, but they have not acknowledged Israel's right to exist. You're right. And if you look at JewishVoicesForPeace.org, you will find that they are not any easier on the Palestinians than they are on the Jews in this case. I
didn't hear one thing he had to say that was criticizing.
Well, he was answering my questions. I probably should have asked him a question about, what are your thoughts on how the Palestinians are behaving?
Right. Well, but you see, this is a general tenor that, no matter what, most Jews, I would say, when they hear someone like that, and we're all over the political spectrum, right?
Right.
I don't agree with Sheldon Adelson on much of anything, but it makes us want to round up the wagons and dummy up and say, no, we're not going to even listen to you, you know? Yeah. We really want to there doesn't seem to be many voices on the other side that are saying that Hamas and Hezbollah and groups like that need to acknowledge Israel's right to exist.
I've been saying that from day one.
When they do that, then there will be peace.
Yeah, well, I'm not even sure that'll cause peace because the PLO had done so before, and that didn't cause peace. But and in fact, I think that's one of the reasons that Hamas got elected, because the people in Gaza said, hey, we tried this, and it didn't work, so screw it. We're going to go with the crazies. And
but you know what? Hamas was not that kind of organization in the beginning, and Israel funded Hamas because of the humanitarian work that they did.
And that's how Hamas got elected, was providing schools, providing hospitals, providing jobs.
Right, and Israel was much to, what's the word I'm looking for, much to, not blame, but they were the ones that are responsible for providing a lot of that funding in the very beginning. Yeah,
much like we funded what became Al-Qaeda.
Right, yeah.
No, I'm serious.
Right. And that's the problem, you see.
The Mujahideen.
The moderate voices of Palestinians are muted because I can understand they're afraid for their lives to speak out.
Sure. Well, and this is the point that this is the point that Nick Kristof was making in the New York Times, and that I explicitly endorsed. I said, of all the articles I've read, from the one that is complaining that Israel should have paid the civil service salaries and we wouldn't have seen this mess, to Charles Krauthammer saying, it's basically because the Palestinians dare to exist that this problem is going on. I thought Nick Kristof nailed it when he said what you're looking at is right wing against right wing, and the voices for peace and the voices of rationality and the voices for civil society on both sides, on the Palestinian side and the Israeli side, are being marginalized. At least on the Israeli side, you've got the discourse in the country. Haaretz and other publications offer a progressive perspective and a labor perspective. The Labor Party, although is pretty much dead now in Israel, but still there are those voices. You will not hear those voices in Hamas, in Gaza.
And that is the shame of it, because Israel's been around for 60-something years already.
Yeah.
And before Begin, there were always labor governments. And they were much more willing to work with the Arab side of the coin to try to make peace. But the Arabs never wanted to make peace, and the Palestinians have been used as pawns by the rest of the Arab world because of their hatred for the Jews.
Right.
So we've lost that moderation voice, at least on the Israeli side. And that's why you have guys like Begin and then Shamir and Netanyahu. And they have to pander to even more radical voices like the guy, the Shah's party guy.
Yeah.
It's just a real shame. But we really want to hear what Palestine. Well, I hate to even use that word. Even the Palestinians hated that word. It's a Roman word.
Yeah. Well, they used to consider it a slur. Now they've embraced it.
They aren't forced to fess up. And if you're a reporter in the Gaza Strip and you report badly, you're kicked out.
Well, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name now, but the NBC reporter who reported so empathetically about those 4 kids getting killed on the beach. And then they kicked him out, and they brought Richard Engel in to read his scripts, and now he's back. So NBC, and he's saying, this is over a Mediaite, he's saying, I'm back because of public opinion. So that's a good thing. Stu, thanks for the thoughtful call. We'll be back.